Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin' Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where we go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it. Milestone returns. And for those of you that don't know, Milestone was a DC Comics imprint back in the 90s that focused on mostly black superheroes. It was really great stuff. Dwayne McDuffie was kind of like the spearhead of that. Dennis Cowan and a lot of other people were a part of that. So it is returning. There is going to be a one-shot called Milestone Returns Infinite Edition, which adds extra pages to the ones that were already released back at the Fan Expo in August or something like that. Now, all the Milestone stuff is going to be digital first. So it's going to start with this one-shot. It's got work by Reginald Hudlin and Dennis Cowan, Bill Sienkiewicz, and others, right? So that one-shot releases digitally this month on the 26th. February 26th. And then the physical copy will release at the end of May on the 25th. So May 25th for the physical copy, but the 26th of February for the digital. Then they are going to do 3 6-issue series in a row, starting with Static. Static's going to be, of course, digital first on let's see, I wrote it down somewhere, April 12th, okay? Static comes out April 12th digitally, and then it will come out later on in a physical format. Icon and Rocket, its 6-issue series starts June 21st digitally, and then Hardware starts August 23rd. So, Milestone is back, and now we got official confirmation on how and when. So pretty excited. Let's run that through one more time. Milestone returns, Infinite Edition, the one-shot, digitally available February 26th, physically available May 25th, and then Static is available digitally on April 12th, Icon and Rocket #1 on June 21st, and Hardware #1 on August 23rd. Justice League Last Ride is a digital-first Justice League miniseries written by Chip Zdarsky. It's got artwork by Miguel Mendonça. Really excited for this. It releases digitally on April 2nd, but the physical edition comes out May 18th. It's kind of an Elseworlds-y type story. You know, we're in the Omniverse now. We're in the infinite frontier, right? But it's basically Chip Zdarsky and company telling the story of a Justice League who has broken up. Their bond shattered, right? And now the world has completely gone to crap, and they have to try to pull it together one last time to save everything. And rumors are that this is going to be the first series set on this world that's called the Elseworld that they were kind of talking about at the end of Death Metal. But it's a digital first series. There's a lot of digital first stuff coming from DC. So digitally available April 14th, physically available May 11th. Digitally wise, it's going to be a 18 or a 16 issues or 16 chapter series. Each chapter is going to be $1. The chapters will be combined into physical copies. It's going to be an 8-issue series physically. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight returns as a digital first series, which releases on April 2nd. Physical copy available on May 18th. The first story is going to be done by Derek Robertson. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight was a Batman anthology series. Back in the day, the initial series ran for over 200 issues, had some great creators on it, like Matt Wagner, Grant Morrison, and so many more. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight back in the day was like phenomenal. They did a digital first series a few years ago. That was okay. It had some pretty solid work, but it never really quite took off, so we'll see what this one does. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, digitally available April 2nd, physically May 18th. Batman the Dark Knight, by the way, the 6-issue series that's coming out, written by Tom Taylor, with artwork by Andy Kubert, has been changed. The name has been changed to Batman the Detective. So, just to avoid any confusion, it's no longer Batman the Dark Knight, it's Batman the Detective, which makes me think that Ra's al Ghul is involved. I hope so. That'd be really cool. And it also, I think it's to avoid confusion with the idea of Legends of the Dark Knight being out around the same time. X-Corp has finally been announced. Now, this is the X-Men book that we've been anticipating pretty much since the beginning. This one and the Moira book. No word on the Moira book, but this X-Corp book is finally released in May, and it's going to be written by Teenie Howard with artwork by Alberto Focci. Now, I do like the concept of the X-Corp. It's more of the business side of the X-Men, and especially in this Krakoan age, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with it. They've been kind of teasing it here and there. The main stars of this book are going to be Monet and Angel. They're going to be the heads of the X Corporation. We don't know who else is really going to be involved, except for we kind of know Multiple Man might be involved because X-Corp was kind of teased, if you remember, in Empire X-Men, that 4-issue miniseries. So X-Corp's finally coming. It's in May. But it's by Teenie Howard, and honestly, Excalibur's been, to me, one of the weakest ones. Heroes Reborn! Yay! 2 more one-shots to announce for Heroes Reborn, and I'm still not excited, but one of them is called Siege Society. So Heroes Reborn's giving us this world without the Avengers. What's happened? So the Baron Zemo, like basically his Masters of Evil, that's what this book is centered on, but there's some different people involved in it, like Sabretooth there on the cover. That's interesting. Then we have Magneto and the Mutant Force, and in this world, Magneto and Xavier actually work together to build a bridge between humanity and mutant kind, and then Xavier got killed or something, and then Magneto is continuing on the legacy, the Xavier legacy with the X-Men, whatever. That sounds a little bit like Age of Apocalypse, but they're doing it differently, I guess, because whatever. You got a Dr. Juggernaut, so Juggernaut of Doom. Anyway, moving on. CW has said no to the Wonder Girl series. You know, they were developing that Yara Flor Wonder Girl series, and CW has decided to pass on it. Now, I know a lot of people are hyped up on her first appearance, but this is kind of, that means bad things for that, as far as the speculation goes on her first appearance. However, just because CW passed on it doesn't mean that somebody else won't pick it up at some point. Maybe HBO Max. I think this is a cool character, and I think she could resonate with a modern audience, so we'll see. But they did say yes to Naomi, so they are going to be doing a CW show based on Naomi, the Brian Michael Bendis character that he created with Jamal Campbell and David F. Walker. Really liked that series. I thought it was some of Bendis' best work over at DC, so I'm excited to see how this gets interpreted to the small screen. The Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer has released. There was a little bit of a teaser during the Super Bowl. By the way, who's this Weekend guy? He's awesome. So there was a little tiny teaser during the Super Bowl, and then online they released the more official, full-on one, and I loved it. Looks great. Definitely got that MCU feel. It's really going with the buddy cop type thing. The idea that Sam and Bucky don't really kind of like each other, right? And it seems like it's going to be humorous. But my favorite thing is that Baron Zemo's wearing the damn mask, as he should. But I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be pretty solid. I'm loving WandaVision. Wonder Vision. What if Wonder Man shows up? Anyway, I'm loving WandaVision, and I'm also really pumped for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think this is going to be more typical MCU stuff that people are excited for. Lawrence Fishburne is an executive producer of the Moon Girl series, which is going to be an animated series on Disney+, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and he has also been cast as the role of the Beyonder. So he's going to be voicing the Beyonder. He's already voiced the Fantastic Four movie. He was Silver Surfer. Remember the Rise of the Silver Surfer? I'm a big Lawrence Fishburne fan, so I'm excited. I mean, the Beyonder's a great character. I remember being a kid and reading Secret Wars 2 with, with the hair and the disco Beyonder, and I loved it. So maybe one day we can get a live action Beyonder, and it will be Lawrence Fishburne with that, like, Cowboy Curtis hair, like, as the Beyonder. How cool would that be? Cover is going to be a series on HBO. Cover. Another one of those really good books by Brian Michael Bendis over at DC. Cover was an independent book that he did over at DC along with David Mack. HBO Max has picked up the option to do a series, and they've actually brought Bendis and Mack in to be involved as producers, maybe writers, creators. That's really, really exciting. The basic premise of Cover is that the CIA is using comic book creators to be CIA assets overseas at, like, conventions, and then they can do, like, spy work or something like that. It's kind of like Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, but instead of game shows, comic books. It's a really cool comic book. It's a really cool concept. It was really well done and well executed, so I'm excited to see what they can do on HBO Max with this as a series, and also with Mack and Bendis involved. Face Off. They're doing a Face Off sequel. What? I don't even remember who the people were that are attached to it, but they are working right now on a direct sequel to Face Off, like the 1997 movie with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. And before this even got announced, before I even heard about this week, like, we have already decided that we were going to do Face Off for Action Fest this year. So now it's even more appropriate. No word yet if they're going to try to get Travolta and Cage back. I mean, why not? They should. That would be great. Face Off is one of those movies that's just like one of the best action movies of the 90s that's like got one of the dumbest scripts ever. But I'm really kind of excited for it. So that's what we have for you this week. What's coming up here at PCP? Well, no Rockin' Robbie live tonight because, by the way, happy Valentine's Day. But I don't want to be anybody's excuse to not spend time with their significant person on Valentine's Day because they have to watch Rockin' Robbie live. So Rockin' Robbie live will return next week, but we're off tonight. But I'll tell you this. Let's give some Patreon shout-outs. Josh Brewington, Brandon Conkle, Tomorrow Cinema. Thank you so much for your support over at patreon.com/PCP. You help fulfill the dream of this channel. You keep the lights on. You keep us funded. You keep us going. You keep us enthused. Thank you so much for your job that you do as a Patreon supporter for Pop Culture Philosophers. Speaking of Tomorrow Cinema, I will be joining him on his channel tomorrow night. That's Monday, February 15th. I think it's at 8 p.m. Central Time, but I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm going to be participating in their first episode of their live pitch battle. So we're supposed to take a science fiction franchise and create a musical version of it, and then we pitch it, and then you get to vote on the winner. So PCP Army, I hope you can be there, because I would love to see a PCP victory. Still up in the air about what sci-fi franchise I'm going to do. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below, seriously. And then, of course, Tuesday night, weekly comic book review. That's the plan. There's some bad weather, some ice storms, some winter storms, so I don't know. I think this is one of those weeks where a lot of people are going to get their comics delayed, but we shall see. But we got lots of fun coming up on the channel, including Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. I will be joined here on the channel for a live conversation with Geeks Unleashed. That's right, Jasmine and Mark from Geeks Unleashed are going to be joining us here on the channel to chat about their podcast, chat about pop culture, with you, with me, and it's going to be fun. You know it. Friday night, PCP Movie Night, 9 p.m. Central Time, Boys in the Hood. And then over at Dylan's Horror Show on Saturday night on Dylan's Comics, we're going to be talking about our favorite 90s horror movies. And we're doing it just like the 80s horror episode, where we're going to pick our favorite movie from each year of the 90s, 90 through 99. And I couldn't be more excited. Anyway, that's what we got for you coming up here at PCP. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think I should pitch for my sci-fi franchise musical tomorrow night on Tomorrow Cinema? And please join us there. I'll throw a link in the description below so you can sub up to Tomorrow. Manuel and company are some of my best homies here on YouTube. I've known them for a long time, since we first started. Before I even knew who Bueller and Jim was, it was me and Manuel back in the day, just talking to like 10 people. Anyway, thank you so much for your support and the growth here at PCP. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you so much for your support. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Click that notification bell and join us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin' Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on living.